Aloha, this is Steph with Turtle Flow. Today we'll be talking about why it's important to rest, and I'll be sharing all the various ways resting helps you. So, welcome. This is Yogi Tea Time Live that we do every first Thursdays of the month at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm Stephanie. I'm Reiki Master Yoga Instructor. And my goal is to help you be your most authentic creator. So you can be true to yourself, live in peace, joy, abundance, and create what you're here to create that will contribute to make this world a better place. So, resting is definitely one of those elements that's so needed, especially in the Western culture. But I think just modern culture in general, since we are living in a more global society nowadays, all connected, especially through social media. So happy Cinco de Mayo. It's May 5th, 4 p.m. in California. I'm streaming this from Los Angeles, California. So let me know where you're tuning in from, whether you're watching this live or you're catching this on replay. And this is just a time to support each other and a reminder for you to take a little tea break and have a high vibe conversation to lift each other up. So think of it like a virtual cafe. As I used to love going to coffee shops and cafes to study when I was in college and just to hang out. So today I am drinking tea. So you're welcome to join with your favorite cup of tea or coffee. Um, I'm drinking Moroccan mint tea that's infused with green tea today. So let me know if you're new to this channel, and please don't forget to subscribe and like and share this video with anyone that could use it. So, Yogi Tea Time episode 25, why rest is essential. So, I'll be looking down from time to time to control the overlay text, and so that I can share more efficiently all the points. But you're welcome to share your experience, your thoughts, and if you have any questions regarding any of the practices that I share on this channel, if you need any support in any way, let me know in the chat or in the comments. And so this is, even though I do structure it with a theme, this is meant to be more of a interactive session, so it could be more free form also. And if you ever have a topic you would like me to cover, feel free to let me know. And in California, especially in America, we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo. It's actually not the actual Independence Day of Mexico, but we're still celebrating the freedom and independence. So, the first point, I think I'm going to change the style of graphic for this, is that rest is not a luxury, but it's essential. As I've mentioned at the beginning of this live that oftentimes, because we're so programmed to be productive and go, 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 do, in this 3D world realm, that when we take the time to rest, you feel like you're wasting your time. Oftentimes we feel guilty, especially if you're a mom. And the people that feel the most guilty about resting are the people that really need to carve out conscious time for rest. And our body never lies. So always tune into your body, listen to your body. So if you feel tired and you feel like you need a nap, don't be afraid to take a nap, or just go out for a very gentle walk in nature. That's still a way to rest. Or maybe just sit by the ocean, sit by a tree and just be still. Maybe reading some relaxing poetry if you're into poetry. If you like to draw, you can do some sketches. And you can also listen to some audio that's inspiring, that's relaxing. Or definitely do a guided meditation. So I share a lot of yoga nidra, guided yoga nidra on this channel. So those are really helpful to really help you to go into a deep rest, especially when you feel guilty, when you feel like you need something to do, and when you're too anxious to even fall asleep or just relax. So the next benefit is that it reverses negative effects of stress on a hormonal level, physically, mentally, emotionally, especially cortisol. So when we run to meet our deadlines or to-do list, and it's or you feel behind on reading your emails, it all feels the same. Our body thinks the same danger as in our primitive times when we're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger that's going to kill us. So it's like we're running for our lives. So all the functions of digestion shut down or slows down, and cortisol goes up so that you can run fast, to give you that little adrenaline so you can run to save your life. And even when we get mental stress or these stressors, our bosses hurrying, telling us to hurry, or just anybody around you that's trying to rush you to do something because they're impatient, really, then we are not honoring our own body's rhythm, and we're always in this state of rushing. So you feel like you're being chased. And especially with to-do lists, it never ends, so you feel like you're always running and you're never making anywhere. Same with financial stress, and which a lot of us are going through, especially after these past few years of going through the pandemic. So especially when we had a lot of stressful events, traumatic events, it's more important to take that time to pause and rest, even if it's 10 minutes a day. Like in Spain, they have siestas. Even in Mexico, you have siestas for like 2 hours. In England, they have tea time. So over the time, even culturally, a lot of ancient civilizations, they respected that. Hello, Rachel. Hello. So glad you could join. So my first question is, do you feel guilty resting, or do you have, and if you feel guilty, what are some of those objections? And what if you don't feel guilty, what are your favorite ways to rest? And how do you carve out time for rest? Deep breaths can do miracle. Yes, diaphragmatic deep breathing definitely can do wonders. So happy Cinco de Mayo, happy Thursday. It's our first Thursday of May. And so because it reverses those negative effects of stress, resting helps to recharge and heal physically first, and then it helps to heal mentally and helps you to think more clearly. And you can also, especially if you're empath, highly sensitive people on an emotional level, you can really try to decipher what are your true feelings versus what are the energies and feelings that you took on from others from being around people. So when we're going around, even online, just scrolling through, you can pick up a lot of energy from other people, especially in person. And sometimes if we don't pause and relax and create this space of rest to really tune in, it that's when you can really figure out and then let go of stuff that's not for you or that is not you, that you took on from someone else. And the more you tune into and connect to your higher self through these meditation practices, you can and also Reiki, you can really decipher that easily. It'll be very clear. And then you can use various techniques, energetic techniques, to let go or just simply feel and release, whether it's your feeling or not. So, Rachel, you said you used to feel guilty about taking a moment, but now it's necessary. Yes, it's essential. That's the whole point of this live I'm doing today. I make sure every day I do something for my mind, body, and soul, even if it's just for a few minutes. Yeah, and then just making the intention and conscious decision to make that time, even if it's few minutes, makes a huge difference. And then over time, it's gonna also give you more time because when you do this, you make more clear decision. Your mind gets more clear. You get that clarity because you're not cluttered by external inputs and influences, opinions. You get to be really true to yourself. And it also supports our nervous system, as I mentioned. When we feel like we're just running and rushing, you're in that sympathetic fight or flight nervous system mode, which also produces cortisol, and all the belly fat is contributed by cortisol. So no matter how many sit-ups you do, you're never going to get rid of those belly fat. And then when you take that time to truly relax and rest, that's a restorative yoga, and yin yoga is good if you need to rest more in a physical way. Meditation is good if you want to do more mental. Breath work is also great to go from that physical to mental transition, as well as release emotionally. Um, and when you shift that nervous system from resting, it'll automatically shift to parasympathetic nervous system. So when you do parasympathetic, when your body is in a parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest, also known as rest and digest, which is what restorative yoga focuses on 100% while releasing tension physically. Your body goes into a self-healing mode. So it produces all the happy hormones, healing hormones, and you're putting your body into a self-healing mode. And your digestion improves, and you're telling your body everything is safe so that it can go in function. And then if you have insomnia, the more you put your body into that parasympathetic nervous system mode, you are, and that just from few deep breaths can quickly do that, but making that conscious effort to relax. So again, restorative yoga, yoga nidra, breath work where you're doing deep diaphragmic breathing or four square breathing, or simply taking a nap, listening to relaxing music, taking a bubble bath or Epsom salt bath. And actually, Epsom salt bath paired up with lavender oil, if you're not allergic to any of those, will really put you into that deep, relaxed state. And Epsom salt also has magnesium, so it'll really help you to fall asleep if you have trouble falling asleep. And all you have to do is soak for 20 minutes and about 2 cups per bath, and then rinse it off. And you don't want to stay too long after that. And it helps to detoxify. So Rachel, the journal. Yes, journal is another way to really empty out mentally. And it's a great way to relax, especially like in nature. If you're looking at a tree or just even an indoor plant, or if you have like little water fountain, listening to like trickling sounds of water or a nature sound in your like Spotify or Apple Music, Tidal, streaming services, CD, meditation, spiritual bath I just mentioned, spending time outdoors. Yes, so nature is really healing and definitely does put us in a relaxed state, especially one that you relate to. So I feel the most relaxed by the ocean or just any water because I'm a Pisces. And for some people, like my aunts, they love being in the desert. I feel suffocated when I look at the desert and I feel thirsty. So it kind of stresses me out if I'm in a desert environment. But I have 2 aunts, my favorite aunts that I'm very close to. And they're 2 sisters, 3 years apart, but their birthdays are like 2 days apart. And they love the desert because they're Aries, which is a mountain goat. So you would think they like the Rocky Mountains, but they love the desert. So there's no right or wrong. You have to tune in and really see what fuels your soul, what recharges you. And that's all about just tuning in. And when you create that space for the nervous system to slow down. Sometimes if you're too anxious, then you'll keep getting other thoughts that come up. So it's a great, or certain emotions that you haven't dealt with might come up. So you can use this space. Know that you're in that safe space. So we're creating this safe container to allow yourself to feel anything that's present instead of resisting. And so you're emotionally supporting yourself and processing your emotion in a safe space. And the emotions that get trapped shows up as tension in our body. So that's why the restorative yoga or yin yoga really helps to release those tension on a physical level. And it'll also bring up the emotion, and you're creating this safe space to feel so that you don't become reactive and lash out. And then when these mental thoughts come up, we just did a very strong intention setting on our solar eclipse a few days ago. And if you haven't, check it out. So it was Taurus solar eclipse intention setting. And Taurus is represented by Venus. So you can also do that on Fridays if you need to connect with that Taurus energy to beautify and connect with abundance and physical improvements. Yes, safe spaces are very important. So when we show up for these practices and you create that sacred space at home, or if you go to a workshop or just be by yourself in nature, those are safe space that you're consciously creating so that you are able to honor any negative thoughts, emotions that arises. So when we also, you will notice limiting beliefs showing up. So when we slow down and get quiet and relax, especially if you do that during an anxious state, sometimes the thoughts can run really high. So your thoughts can run even more and faster, and things that you're trying to avoid, you'll start to notice. So that's when you can really observe those limiting beliefs, negative thoughts that arise, and let go. So the best way to let go of limiting beliefs are observe, breathe it out, again using your natural breath to let go. So instead of judging and engaging, start to be an observer. And then whenever these thoughts arise, you can also think back later when you're journaling where they came from. Try to think back when you first felt that. Identifying the feelings that are associated with these limiting beliefs, and then going back to what you can remember and identify the first time you felt that, and doing some inner child healing that way. And of course, if you have a deeper issue that's harder to identify, you can always get help, seek support. And a lot of these can also be cleared through Reiki sessions, as well as doing positive affirmations. So you would write the opposite of what the limiting beliefs are, but you don't want to just bypass spiritually and just go to the positive. You also want to acknowledge and see what caused it. If you can remember, journal about it. and see what you can do to do the opposite. And then thinking of the opposite and then coming up with an affirmation that's the opposite of the limiting beliefs. So if you think I'm not good enough, then you want to work with those feelings, honor the feelings, feel whatever feelings that come up, more from an observer to get to that neutral space, whether you do it through physical yoga or just through breath work and or journaling. Maybe like when you're journaling, you can write whatever happened and then in a safe space burn it. You can also like cross it out and then write the positive, I am good enough. And then do small actions, take a small action that makes you feel like you're good enough. One small step. And then slowly expand from that. So again, I'm just kind of generally going through these very quickly, but these are not simple things that you can just get over sometimes. So definitely seek professional help if you have a deeper, more challenging limitations that's really holding you back, especially if you had a very traumatic experience that caused these limiting beliefs. So when we clear it, then so we've cleared physically, mentally, emotionally, then you can really think with clarity. So the decisions can come. Sometimes a solution to a problem you might be stuck with, you might have a creative solution or seeing things from different perspective and just having a more, or you might be doubting or can't decide between two options. And when you go take this time to relax and pause, and during the relaxation, you really don't want to try to resolve anything. You're just relaxing and then honoring whatever comes up and let it go. And then once you're done with the relaxation session, that's when you journal what came up and then try to work through. So when you do that, clarity and efficiency will be observed. So you will notice yourself thinking more clearly or having a more clear answer to what decision you need to make or any solutions to a problem. And you'll notice that, or you might have like a creative download of some new projects to do, allowing you to create from that authenticity of what you are called to, what you're here to create, to contribute to the world, or just to to yourself or anyone near you. And you will also notice that when we don't allow ourselves to rest and you just keep going, not get enough sleep, you're doing a lot of damage to yourself physically. And you'll notice that you can't even think clearly. You keep making a lot of mistakes. You can have accidents, minor or big, and you won't have like really good creative ideas when you're working on projects. And you'll notice that when you take this time to pause and rest, creating that space, then when you go back to your activity, you'll notice that you'll get things done more faster. So that's why it's so important to eat simple as like just taking a lunch break, even if it's just for 15 minutes, just to eat instead of eating at the desk. And I remember when I was working full time as graphic designer, we were on salary and you're pretty much stuck to your desk and working a lot of overtime. And that also included eating lunch at the desk, and it almost became like this cultural thing where you feel guilty or you feel like a bad employee if you just say you're taking your lunch, which is legally allotted to do, but just that group cultural pressure makes you feel like you can't even take a lunch break. And it's actually, especially in a creative um, job, you're actually not allowing your workers or yourself to be the most creative self. So it's not always about putting in a lot of hours and eating at your desk. It's also not good for your digestion. So, and you're also rushed. So you're increasing that cortisol level, the stress hormone, and you're trying to eat, which blocks the digestion. And mentally, you're creating more issues. So you can't even be as creative as you can. So I was like a big activist just to have lunch, having carving in inspiring and encouraging people to take a lunch break. And then we're also connecting to your higher self. So that's why I put the S in capital. So it's not your little self, but your higher self with capital S. So when we do these practices, the more you do it, more often you do it, and it becomes a regular practice. As I've mentioned, you're clearing out all the external opinions so you can really go in within and tap into what is true to you, what are your true feelings, your true thoughts, your true feelings about things, your belief system. So when we talked about the limiting beliefs, like when you peel away all that, you get to really connect to your higher self. Um, that is of pure love. So the natural state when you connect to the higher self, which is why we do all these meditation practice, which is also shown to switch your brain. It actually literally restructures your brain and reestablishes neuron paths, neurological paths, the neurons. So that helps to that connect to that oneness, natural state of peace, love, and joy. So you're not tied to the external influences, but this state is yours. That's your natural birthright, your natural state of being that you know that you are here to claim, which also includes abundance. And when you're in that state, you get creative downloads, space for creativity. So the creative downloads can be just another way to do something, another way to deal with someone. If you're having trouble with someone, so it's not always about work. It could be relationships, creative ways to parent if you're a parent, creative ways to teach, because people learn differently. So maybe you'll come up with different methods of teaching. Um, in yoga, as a yoga teacher, when we create sequences, there's a lot of room for creativity, especially when you're in like a vinyasa flow, gentle yoga, and styles of yoga that's not ashtanga. There are certain styles of yoga where they have a very strict sequence you have to follow, and you do the same ones over and over. And we can definitely infuse repetition, but you can also be creative with the sequence or how you teach. And it could also be just new projects that you're called to do. Maybe a new hobby you never thought you could do. And once you open up your receptivity to those ideas, then the universe will help you to, the right books, right teachers, right people will come into your life, right situations will present itself, opportunities, so that you can pursue it. So it's very important to claim it and be open to receive that creativity and know that you are creative. We are all creative. Just from the time when humans started to use tools and made tools, from that point on, just for being human, you are creative. And when we do that, it helps to magnetize instead of you having to hustle and chase after things. You get to magnetize. So if you made that intention each week, each morning, or just with the solar eclipse as we did, or new moon, new year, it helps to magnetize those intentions and goals that you set. So if you have any other questions, let me know. So again, just a reminder. So this whole tea time came from my meditation when I was connecting in my meditation session to be guided to come up with to best serve my Turtle Flow community here on YouTube. When I really decided to be more consistent and commit to my YouTube channel. So I just want to wish you happy tea time, happy rest. Just know that you deserve time for rest, time to recharge, to honor yourself, honor your sanity. And that you are good enough, you are creative. And if you're in the US and or Mexico, I don't think Mexicans really celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I think it's become more of a American holiday, even though it's supposed to be Mexico. And a lot of people are going to be drinking margarita. So if you want to do happy hour, you're welcome to do happy hour with this Yogi Tea Time. I'm drinking my green tea with mint, Moroccan mint. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, share this with anyone might benefit or need a reminder to rest. And when you know that when you're resting, you're not just being lazy and doing nothing. There's so much, your body's going through so much shift internally to really help you to be your best self. Being your best, magical, creative self. So you can be your most authentic creator. Harnessing your authentic creativity. And if you're a mom, happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day coming up this weekend, I think. And I'm a dog mom, so if you're a dog mom, you still get to celebrate Mother's Day this Sunday. So happy dog or cat mom day. Any pets you have? Snake, birds. And go within and find your inner sparkle. Thank you so much. Namaste. So I hope to see you at the next Yogi Tea Time. Again, I do this every first Thursdays of the month. And if you have any requests, or you can always bring any questions you have with any other videos, or um, if you've been practicing any of the yoga nidra, and if you have any requests, you can always type in the chat and let me know. Have a great weekend. Yum, green tea. Resting is healing. Yep, that's the motto, mantra of this Yogi Tea Time talk. Happy doggy mom. How's Solar? Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, we had our Yorkie too, and we lost my sister's Yorkie last October, which was really very sad. But we were very honored to have him with us for 13 years since he was a puppy. And then I still have my Daisy, who I adopted about 7 years ago. And she is my Doga partner, Yoga with Dogs. So I also have another channel, Doga Alchemy, that I'm not as active with at the moment until I'm focusing more on this channel right now. Namaste. I'm so glad you get to be here live again. I've missed you. And I really enjoyed your live. So everyone go and follow Raw Energy Wellness. Rachel, dear online friend. Yeah, we're still in shock. So I haven't had the heart to even post anything, especially in honor of my sister. I just want to make sure she is ready, and I want to make sure I get her permission before I um, post anything. But thank you so much. So yes, Daisy, she was snoring. If you heard earlier, she was snoring here, and then she went out of the room. Otherwise, I would have introduced her, but she's on the Doga Alchemy channel if you want to see her, or Instagram. Thank you. So have a wonderful Mother's Day, and I'm gonna wrap up here, and we'll see you soon. And have a great weekend and Mother's Day weekend. Happy Cinco de Mayo if you celebrate. And thank you. See you soon. Again, this is Yogi Tea Time. Rest is essential. All right, much love.